I'm Elizabeth at A Literary Princess. If you are new here, welcome. I have a PhD in English literature with a focus on Victorian women novelists, and as you might expect, I love to read. So today I have for you my April TBR. And honestly, for April, I'm keeping it kind of low-key for the actual TBR. I say as there's like 6 books on here. But I've been in a really weird reading mood, and like I have not gotten through anything really that I wanted to read in March, and it is the 20-something, 23rd. So yeah, I'm not done with Ruth, which is my Elizabeth Gaskell book for the month. I'm not done. I didn't even start Little Dorrit, which was my March of the Mammoths book. I'm only 20% of the way through one of the arcs that I'm reading that comes out, I think, tomorrow. So yeah, other arc that comes out on the 27th, haven't started that. Still slowly making my way through Les Mis and The Complete Poems of Emily Dickinson. So I don't know, it's just been a very strange reading month, and I don't really want to read what I have on my shelves, is what it turns out part of the problem. And the other problem, I think, is that I'm burnt out from classics a bit, which is unfortunate because that's what I like to read. And that is a large part of what makes up my bookshelves, hence why I don't want to read anything on my shelves. So I'm gonna try to take it easy in April and kind of just read what I want, but there are some events that I'm participating in, and I do have a few arcs that I want to get to. And then I am doing this Elizabeth Gaskell project. Luckily, the book for this month is pretty short. I said that about Ruth, I think, too, though, so I don't know anymore. Anyway, let's jump in. First 2 books are for the event that I am participating in, and that is People April, hosted by Roz from Scally Dandling About the Books, Brian from Bookish Texan, and Hannah from Hannah's Books. This event has been on my radar for a while, but I think this is my first year participating in it, just because of how things panned out. But it turns out that the group read is one of the books on my 50 books to read this year. And that is The Blue Stockings, A History of the First Women's Movement by Susanna Gibson. So I'm super excited for this. So I've been hearing a lot about the blues, or not a lot, but a bit about the Blue Stockings through my reading for the 18th Century Novel Project last year, because they were a proto-feminist movement in the 18th century. And so I want to learn more about them, obviously, but it also just sounds like completely my type of thing. And some of these names are familiar to me. Elizabeth Montagu, I have read a bit about. Frances Burney, who's Camilla, I just finished in January. So I'm really excited for this. I'm so glad that it's the group read. Like, I was so excited when I watched the announcement, and they were like, this is one of the options for the group read. I was like, yes! Went and voted for it, and it won. Yes! Although the other options looked really good too, and they both went on my TBR for event, like, you know, someday. Not this month, but someday. So yeah, I'm so excited for this. And isn't this cover just gorgeous? Oh. And the other book that I want to read for People April is a memoir, another one from my 50 books list. And this is My Life in Middlemarch by Rebecca Mead. So this is a memoir that is kind of focused around the author's experience with the novel Middlemarch by George Eliot, very famous Victorian novel that I've had a complicated relationship with, but now I do like it. So I'm just really interested to see what Rebecca Mead has to say and like what her experience with the book was. And I do like a good memoir that focuses around literature. I do have my Elizabeth Gaskell book for the month, and that is Cranford. I don't remember what year. 1853? I think the volume form came out in the same year as Ruth, but I might be wrong and it's not on the back of the book. So, I mean, this is less than 300 pages. It's like 250 with notes. So I think this should be fine, and I've heard that this is so much fun. It is about a little village that is predominantly made up of women, like middle-aged women, and just the kind of shenanigans that go on. And I've heard so many amazing things about it from everybody. And I think that even though I am kind of burnt out on classics, this should be, like, it sounds like a very chill book. And also really good for the springtime. So I'm hoping that it won't be one that I'm, like, not wanting to pick up, like I am right now with the 3 classics I'm reading. But I do expect to really like this because I like everything I've read by Elizabeth Gaskell, and B, so many people whose opinions I trust have really loved this. So I'm hoping by the time I pick it up, I will be more keen on reading classics. I then have 2 arcs that I want to get to. The first is How the Story Goes by Andrew Forrester. This comes out on May 5th, so I want to read it in April so that I have the review out in time for the release. It is a romance about the widower of a famous children's fantasy author and his relationship with an MFA dropout when they decide to finish his late wife's series together. I don't know, I like books about books, and even though romance is usually not my favorite genre, or just, like, it's just not a genre I'm usually drawn to, this did sound like a lot of fun. And also, I'm actually kind of in the mood for romance books right now, so this timing worked out well. I don't know, I'm really interested to check it out and see what it's like, and hopefully it will be good. So this other book actually came out in 2024, but the arc is still available on NetGalley, and it looks like actually a lot of people are getting it through NetGalley in this year, 2026. So, I don't know. This is Coffee Stains on My Books by Stefania Lucetti, whose name I might be butchering. This is a poetry collection. Lucetti is an Italian poet who writes in both English and Italian. And I'm gonna be honest, I was drawn to the fact that it has a book on the cover and books in the title. So apparently she uses both English and Italian in this poetry, which will be interesting because I don't know Italian, although maybe I can understand a little bit through my knowledge of French, I don't know. But I don't know, I wanted to check it out. I like finding new poetry. And again, like, I was really drawn to the cover. I think it's a really pretty cover. So then there is one more event. I don't actually know if it's taking place though, because there has been no announcement. But I think they do usually put the announcement up a little bit later. And this event is Picture This, hosted by Shelley Swearingen and Jack from Spread Bookjoy, which is all about reading picture books. And I love this event. It's just always such a delight. I take like a weekend and read a bunch of picture books, and it's great. I only have one right now that I'm gonna read because I own it. I'm gonna be getting more out of the library depending on what they have available. But this one is The Raven, the Edgar Allan Poe poem, and it is illustrated by Chloe Bristol. And I bought this in October at Old Sturbridge Village, which is a outdoor museum in Massachusetts of a early 19th century American town. And since it was Halloween, they had all their Halloween stuff out, like Edgar Allan Poe. And this was just so beautiful, and I'm really excited to read it. And just get to look at the pictures. And also, The Raven's a great poem, so that is my April TBR. Like, more low-key, nothing super ambitious. And Am I gonna read other books? Yes, definitely. And I'm just gonna kind of let myself go with what I feel like, because that's just kind of the mood I'm in. So I guess you will find out what I am reading in a currently reading video, and also eventually in the April wrap-up. But like, I don't even know what it's gonna be. We'll see what I'm in the mood for. So let me know down in the comments. Have you read any of these? What did you think of them? What are you reading for April? Are you participating in People April or in Picture This? If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to see more of my bookish content. It has been great chatting with you. I will see you soon. Bye.